Now, it's not often I get invited onto the set of a new feature film, so when that call came, I have to say I jumped at the chance, especially when I heard that the former Doctor Who star Colin Baker was in the county filming for it. The film is called Shadows of a Stranger, and it's the idea of Sleaford-based director Richard Dutton. His crew are all local, they've got a tiny budget, but they're creating a unique production using the very latest CGI technology. And so I went along expecting to see a Hollywood-style set. That's not quite what I found.
Well, if I said I was going to take you onto a film set, you'd have visions maybe of Pinewood Studios, great big hangars, maybe a big estate somewhere, security. But if I step outside this small barn here in the wilds of Lincolnshire, I look across the fields and it's a most unusual setting for a film set. And we have Colin Baker. What are you doing in the middle of a field in Lincolnshire, Colin?
Yes, what am I doing in the middle of this field? I'm taking part in a rather exciting film, which is a kind of homegrown venture around here from Rich Dutton and Chris, who is lurking around the back there somewhere, and a couple of other people who've... Rich has written this script, which tickled my fancy when it was thrust at me, I must say, with considerable force by my friend Jane Tucker, as of Rod, Jane and Freddie fame, back in the Rainbow days. And I was round for supper at her house one night. She said that a young filmmaker she knew was making this film, and they'd like me to be in it. And I went, oh, yes, because that does happen quite a bit. And I took it back, and I actually read this one, and it's actually quite good. So Jane kept ringing up saying, have you spoken to him yet? Have you spoken to him yet? So a combination of a good script and attrition from a friend, and I said yes, I'd do it.
Well, you must have been, Richard Dutton is the director of the film. Richard, you must have been thrilled to bits.
Yes, thrilled to bits. That's exactly how I'd put it as well. Yes, we were very excited. It was a bit of a sort of pipe dream, I think, for us to get Colin. We were discussing it for weeks and weeks, and we thought, Chris knowing Jane, we thought, can we get Jane to ask Colin, on our behalf, and she did, and here we are, months later, and we brought Colin up to Lincolnshire, and here he is in our film.
Well, this is the thing, we've got Lincolnshire lads making a feature film here. Colin, I know you've done a lot of work in Lincolnshire, Colin, with Theatre Royal, so this is...
I've worked with Theatre Royal many times, and loved it. Beautiful little theatre. But this is my first time filming up here, and it's my first time doing something which is entirely blue screen. I don't know if we need to explain that, but, all the sets, not the costumes or the people, but everything else will be added on electronically, magically, by means I cannot begin to comprehend, which include the removal of my legs for the film, because I have a full complement of them myself, and they will be taken away from me in post-editing. What can be done now? I mean, if we could have done what they can do when I was doing Doctor Who, for instance. I mean, these guys can do stuff now that would have been dreamt of 20 years ago.
You'd better tell us what the storyline is and what Colin does.
Well, Colin is actually a very pivotal character, although he doesn't sort of appear throughout the whole film, but he sets up the plot, hiring a private investigator, who's our main character, to search for a missing man. So it's Colin's character who sets it all up for us as they go on this dark journey to find this missing.
And what's it called?
It's called Shadows of a Stranger.
Shadows of a Stranger. When's it going to be released to the general public?
We would really like to complete it for Christmas of next year. That's 2011.
Well, listen, it's very exciting, I must say. It's just slightly surreal when I step outside this world. I'm in the middle of a cabbage field, but there we are, Great things from here, and wish you the very best of luck with it.
Thank you very much, Rod.
Well, that's Richard Dutton. He's the director from Lincolnshire, based in Sleaford. He's the director of the film. It's called Shadows of a Stranger. And Colin Baker, one of the stars in the film. Just look out for that name, Richard Dutton. You see, now, you've got to be nice to these people, because you never know. Could be a Hollywood director one day. Anyway, I wish the guys all the best of luck. very best with it. OK, 2 minutes to 8. We're going to get the latest news with Peggy Walker very shortly. In the meantime, let's find out what the BBC Lincolnshire weather forecast has got in store for us.